Hey everybody, it's time for starter number 3. That's right, in case you have missed it, I've been going through all 4 starter decks for the new Gundam card game, 1 through 4. We're going to go card by card, break it all down, and then at the end, I'll give you some tips and tricks for playing the deck. And the hope here is that this helps out a little bit because we've got the events coming this weekend that are starter deck events, so if I can give you a little edge on the competition, I'll be happy then. And of course, let me know in the comments below what you think. And I noticed, I was looking at my stats the other day, and I noticed that 96% of the people watching these videos are not subscribed to the channel. So if you could please hit that subscribe button, that would help me out quite a bit. And I promise there will be lots more good stuff coming soon. So I had to pop this one a little bit early. I haven't looked inside yet. I just had to slip a couple promo cards in here to keep them safe on my way back from Anime Expo. But remember, the starter deck may include all foil versions of the same cards. So we'll see if we get it. I honestly, I promise I have not looked in this yet. I just cracked it open to slip some cards in, and that was it. So we'll see if I ended up getting the foil ones or not. Just a quick review of what's in the box here. You have the playmat and rules here, which is handy if you're a new player. And then you've got the one promo card. Basically, it's 1 of 16 of the starter decks. You get the foil version of it. So it's not alternate art as far as I'm aware. It's all just been sort of a textured foiling so far of one of the cards already in the deck. But let's open this up first. And as I do, I'll say too, this video kind of assumes you have a basic knowledge of the rules of the Gundam card game. It's really easy to jump on their site and get those in case you don't. But I'm not going to be explaining every rule in detail. I'll try to review as much as I can, but, you know, again, this does assume that you know a little bit about the game already going into this guide. So what do we get? Oh, cool. All right. I love this. This is a great base. Falmel. So the base that gives you a Charge Zaku 2 token, which is pretty sick, actually. So this is one I'm quite happy to get in the texture foil. That is pretty neat. One of my favorite cards from the beta environment. Very, very cool. And that art, you know, maybe I'm just thinking it's different because it's foiling, but that art does look a little bit different to me. So I'll have to double check that a little bit later. But let's set it off to the side here as we get into the cards themselves. And like I said, we're going to go through card by card, and then at the end, we're going to talk about some general strategy and tips and tricks for playing the deck. It's still morning, so my voice is kind of scratchy. I apologize for that, but we'll do the best we can. So, starting off with the big guns, we got a Legend Rare, level 6, 5 cost. So, just to review really quick what level and cost means, in this game, they've got a really neat system where level is basically how many resources you need to have in play to play the card at all. And then the cost is how many resources you need to turn sideways, basically, to get it on the board. So, what that allows is it allows you to play multiple cards, you know, in one turn, which this game is very focused around playing, you know, suits and pilots, right, in the same turn. You don't want to just play one card and that's it. So this lets you do this. This is also a really clever way of letting them keep very strong cards at a lower cost, but also gating them to appear later in the game, so they don't come out too fast. So I really like that system just in general. By the way, I think we mentioned already, this is ZEON'S Rush, so this is all Zeon and Neo Zeon stuff, including the beautiful, absolutely, probably... It's a tie between this and the Tall Geese as far as my favorite mobile suit in Gundam. It's the Shinanju, right? Full frontals, mobile suit, absolutely beautiful. During pair, this unit gains high maneuvers. That means while you've got a pilot on it, it cannot be blocked, which is pretty crazy, actually. And it's not even during link, so you can put any pilot on this and get high maneuvers. So Shinanju is solid. And then it says, during your turn, when this unit destroys an enemy shield area card with battle damage, that can be a base or a shield, choose one enemy unit, deal 2 damage to it. So this thing, even without full frontal on it, swings hard. You know, during pair, the high maneuver is really nice because that enables the other attack. So this is like a power card. Maybe a little bit more so than some of the other legendaries we've seen. And it's got that, you know, beautiful textured foiling too. Oh, look at that. The foiling is really, really great in this game. And you get 2 of these as well, of course. So 2 Shinanjus. Excellent card, excellent art. Then we've got 2 Charge Zaku 2. Here we go. Level 3, 2 cost. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. And this is a legend rare version. There is a less rare version that appeared in the beta environment. When it's destroyed, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You may reveal a Zeon or Neo Zeon unit card from among them, add it to your hand, return the remaining remaining Chars randomly to the bottom of your deck. We're 100% Chars. Oops, all Chars. But I like it. It's almost a Char's return there. You can grab it there. So Cool early unit with a really strong when destroyed ability just to kind of keep you pumping out cards. I do like that. And then next, we've got 4 of these. And I've looked at the lists of these decks a little bit, but I haven't really gone over them in detail myself yet. So I'm kind of discovering these at the same time you are. So I wanted to sort of develop my opinions on the fly, just because that's kind of fun for me. Level 4 3 costs. It's Angelo's Girazulu. Activate main. Support 2. Rests this unit. 1 other friendly unit gets AP plus, and then the specified amount during this turn. So a big part of red is direct damage, but another big part of red is buffing other units' attack. So that's what we see here. We see some command cards in red that just straight up buff attack, the AP attack power, and then support is a keyword essentially that does that same thing. So we have 4 of these. Angelo Salper is going to be the match pilot for that. But yeah, a decent little sort of mid-range unit. A little bit understated for the level, but at least it does cost 3, and it does give you that plus power on whatever you use it on. So you do have that edge there. Moving on, we have 4 of these. The straight-up Girazulu, level 3, costs 2, 3-2 stat line, and just the Neo Zeon link trait. So I think just a solid early game unit, and then just being able to link it at all is nice, right? There's a lot of early units, especially in the beta environment. There was a lot that just didn't have any link option, so you didn't have the ability to play a pilot on it and attack the first turn it comes into play. So I do like that we see some cards that are, more basic vanilla units, but still have that link ability. Moving on to 3 ofs, we have a 3 of 2/2, 2 cost, level 2. Gaza D, the sleeves version. Sleeves are the Neo Zeon forces. Activate main, support 2. So that's kind of nice. You get just another support thing out of that. So again, following the trend of your smaller units supporting big hits with your bigger units, and just getting support 2 or support any amount helps you turn like a swing that would maybe do part of the damage to a base into like a full kill on a base. You're generally looking for about 5 damage from a unit to one-shot a base above their shield area. So these will help you do that. So I think that's kind of nice to have the option to just like I'm gonna rest it. I don't have to run into anything. I can just buff something else to just one-shot a base or one-shot an enemy unit. Using support correctly is going to be a big key to success with this deck. Level 1, cost 1, and then a 1/2 draw C. There you go. Got 3 of these. Just an easy, turn 1 play. The fact that it has 2 health is kind of nice because it makes it a little bit more resilient to being rested and then killed with like a gun tank and thoroughly damaged. So I do like that at least. The 2 health helps. It makes a bigger difference than you might think. Moving on to 3 of the regular old Zaku 1. Level 1, 1 cost, 1/2 again. So we've got our OG Zeon 1/1 and or 1/2 rather, and we've got our Neo Zeon 1/2. And we've got one of my favorite cards in the beta environment. This is the level 2, 1 cost Zaku 2. It's a 1/2 stat line. However, this unit gets AP plus 2 during this turn on attack. So this is really, really nice to play on your first turn because when you swing for 3 damage, that, remember, is enough damage to take out an EX base. EX bases are the bases that everybody starts with. They have 3 HP. So this is a key card for eliminating your opponent's EX base early and kind of opening up their shields or kind of forcing them to have a bigger base in hand to protect their shield area. So crucial card, I think, in this deck, and one of the better early game drops in the set in general, I think. The Goof, level 3, 3 cost. Deploy, you get to deploy 1 rested Zaku 2, a 1/1 unit token. Oh, cool. All right. So it's a unit that produces a token. That's always good. 2/3 stat line, slightly understated, but remember what you really get is 3/4 in stats. So that's not bad because that's another unit to potentially play a pilot on the next turn. This one does have a link unit as well. You got to throw Ramba Rawl on there, of course, at some point. You get 3 of these, and I like this. Being able to go wide in this game is very important. So being able to have a card that generates another card is solid. It does make me a little bit concerned, though, because, again, cards that generate other cards can be a very slippery slope in game design. So hopefully we don't see too much of that. One Piece problems. But moving on to this, we've got our first pilot card. It's none other than Full Frontal, who sports probably one of the best character names in all of Gundam. And I know we've got some pretty amazing ones all through Gundam, but Yeah, I'm looking at you, G Gundam. But here we have Full Frontal from Gundam Unicorn. Level 6, 1 cost. So remember, he pairs very nicely on your 6 resource turn with the level 6, 5 cost Shinanju. You can play the unit, then play the pilot, get that link unit attack right away. But what does Full Frontal give us? Besides being kicked out of a department store. It's +2/+2 in stats, and then when paired, you may deploy one Neo Zeon/Zeon unit card that is level 4 or lower from your hand. Whoa! Whoa! Okay, so he's another unit that generates more units, and level 4 or below gives you some serious stuff. In fact, you could even play him to play this, and then get another token. So that's kind of interesting. Like I said, I was worried about cards that generate more cards, but I guess that's where we're going with Full Frontal. All right, that's fine. But you know, I think it's kind of the whole it's lore appropriate too, right? Because Full Frontal is like, am I Char? Am I not Char? No, I'm not Char. But you know, it's the idea that Char just keeps coming back. So I will say I approve of extra unit generation and digging for more units on Destroy in this deck specifically, because we know Char always comes back, right? Level 3, 1 cost. Here he is himself, the man, Char Aznable. +1/+1, and then on attack during this turn, this unit gets AP +1, and if it's a link unit, it gets high maneuver. So you can play him on the Char Zaku 2, give it high maneuver, do all sorts of good stuff with it. Just a strong pilot in general. There's going to be multiple Char Zaku 2 units to play here. There's more than one in the set, so you're going to be able to get this ability, I feel like, fairly frequently. So, and then they can also add on Char's, you know, insert mobile suit here right in the future. So I think this is going to be a pilot card that does well as the game kind of develops too. So just a great little piece of art too. Char just looks so happy. Such a cheery guy, you know. Speaking of cheery guys, here's our first command/pilot card. It's Indignation, or Angela Salper. Angela Salper, you know, known to love slapping the protagonist from Gundam Unicorn around. Sorry, manager links. Level 2, 1 cost. You can play it as a command card, activate in main, or action. Choose one friendly unit. It gets AP +2 during this turn. So either you can buff your own unit to make sure you get a swing that takes out what you're trying to take out in one swing, or you can play it in response to an attack that your opponent is sending your way to buff the unit that they are attacking into and hopefully cause them to lose the unit they're attacking into. So a little bit of a trap card, as if you will. We get 3 of these. He can also be played as a pilot. Remember, we do have his mobile suit in this deck, so you can find a link unit with him. Just gives +1 attack. A lot of these command/pilot cards will either give +1 attack or +1 health. So pretty par for the course there, but I think solid just in general. Moving on to our command card. We got Close Combat with a beautiful image of the Shinanju here again. Level 2, cost 2. Burst, you get to activate the main. So when this comes out of your life, when it comes out of your shields, you get to do it either on your opponent's turn in the action window. You get to choose one enemy unit, deal 2 damage to it, or you can just straight up pay 2 to deal 2 damage to an enemy unit during your turn as well. So a little bit of straight up direct damage. That's what we get from red here and there. So nice to have an event or a command card rather that just gives that to us. We got 3 of those? Yeah, 3 of those. And you can have 4 ofs in decks, by the way. Pretty standard. We have 2 of the combo command pilot card, the Blue Giant, aka Rambaral. Level 4, 1 cost, action. Choose a friendly unit. This is when you play it as a command card, by the way. Choose a friendly unit. It can't receive battle damage from an enemy unit with 2 or less AP this battle. So this, you know, it's interesting because it's level 4 to play, yet it protects you against some of the earlier units in the game. So I'm wondering how this is going to play out in a game scenario. I'm very curious to play the deck and see how well this works as a command card. Either way, you do get, this is one of the rare, you know, command/pilot hybrid cards that gives you +1/+1. Remember I said that's not as common in this game. So he does give you decent stats as a pilot as well. And then we also do have his goof too, that you can play him as a link unit on. Curious to see how that all ends up. All right, we got the Relula, our base for Neo Zeon here, level 3, 2 cost. It's a 5 HP base. Burst, you always get to deploy those. Deploy, you always add a shield to your hand, and don't feel bad doing that because you're A, drawing a card, you're B, replacing a 1 HP shield with a 5 HP shield. So it's generally always good to play bases. But then when you do this one, add a shield to your hand, then choose one enemy unit with 5 or less AP, deal 1 damage to it. So a little bit of ping damage when you play the base, or potentially devastating ping damage when this gets revealed from shields and they're not expecting it to be played on their turn. So again, nice little bit of surprise damage potentially. I'm not sure how big 1 ping is going to make a difference in this game, but it's good to have the option. Here we have our Fall Mel. Okay, I see why I thought the art was different, is because on the foil version, you actually get the full art, essentially. You don't have this text box covering some of it. So, wow. I feel like I got to get a playset of these now. I'm so happy I got this card, actually, for the foil one. That's sick. Because Fall Mel's great. Level 3 2 cost. Burst deploy the card, obviously. When you deploy it, add 1 shield to your hand. Then, if it's your turn, deploy 1 rested charge Zaku 2 AP 3 HP 1 unit token. So, let's take a look at that token really quick to know what we're talking about. As we get into the other stuff in the deck, we got our resources, of course. We have our EX base, which everybody starts the game with. And then if you go second, you get to start with that EX resource, which is crucial to use well. We'll go over the EX resource real quick here. So if you go second, which I feel like generally going second is a little bit better in the game right now, mostly because of the EX resource, because while it gives you an extra resource to spend, it also gives you 1 extra level, right? It does count for that too. So it lets you, wait a turn or two, and then usually I feel like around level 4, you get a good opportunity to play a level 4 mobile suit and for like 3, and then spend your EX resource to play the pilot on it or something, So knowing when and where to use the EX resource is a really, really important part of succeeding at this game. And that's my basic kind of like spiel on it is don't spend it right away. Definitely do not use it on turn 1. I can't think of a great reason to do that. It's extremely rare when I would ever consider using my EX resource on the first turn, because again, that extra level that it gives you can be so crucial in playing a big link unit ahead of what your opponent can deal with. So EX resources, very valuable. Here's the token that Fall Mel produces. No link trade or anything like that, but just a 3/1 unit is always nice. And then we've got the Zaku 2 tokens as well. Oh man, I love that art. There's something about the OG Zaku 2 that just looks cool. It just looks old school and spacey and somewhat realistic, and the mono eye is just great. And then we get some tokens as well. Remember, Gundam is a game where damage is what am I saying? Persistent. Yeah, persistent. So when a mobile suit takes damage, it sits there until either the mobile suit is dead or it gets healed, right? Same goes for bases. But let's talk about the general strategy for the deck. What we want to consider when we're playing the ZEON'S Rush deck is that we have access to some pretty good things. We've got access to a little bit of direct damage in Shinanju, in this card here, in the close combat card, in Ralula. We've got access to some recursion, so being able to bring things back. Fall Mel produces tokens. I guess I should say recursion and token generation. The recursion from cards like Charge Zaku 2, token generation from things like the Goof, Fall Mel, Full Frontal as a pilot card when played, I believe, as a link unit. Let me just double check that. Let's see. No, just 1 paired. Yeah, so when you put them on any mobile suit, that's pretty solid. And then, we've got just the straight up slightly higher attack and then potentially higher attack than printed with the 2 support cards that we have. So generally what we'll want to do, I think what you'll really, really want in your opening hand is a Zaku 2. Again, just being able to take their EX base out in 1 swing with using only 1 card is hyper valuable, right? This is the best card I think you can play on turn number 1. And remember, you can play it as turn 2 and not use your EX resource because you're going to be level 2 and it's going to cost 1. In fact, you can only play it on your first turn if you are the second player because you're going to have that EX resource. So going second and playing the Zaku 2 is like the A+++ start with this deck, right? Aside from that, what you're going to want to do is level 2, level 3, play some of your smaller units, but really focus on using the support cards to be able to get efficient swings, right? Using something with a little bit less HP to swing bigger into either a mobile suit with more HP or swing into a base for the full damage to take it out to maybe allow you to swing in to take out a shield or 2, right? So efficient attacking is a core concept of the Gundam card game in general, but you've got some interesting tools in here to let you do that by using cheaper units to get the job done, right? And then we've got cards like Indignation as well to also give that little AP buff. Don't be afraid to use this as a command card rather than the pilot card. In fact, I think a lot of cases it's going to be maybe a little bit more valuable unless you're doing the link unit. But on the concept of pilots in general, I've found that in Gundam, it's in a lot of cases a bad thing, a detrimental thing to just wait and wait and wait until you have the link unit. There are going to be situations where if the numbers are good, you will put any pilot on any mobile suit just because you can swing for that amount of damage, right? Obviously, I'm saying, you want to put a pilot on a mobile suit that's already been in play that you played last turn, right? So you can attack with it. So you don't need that link ability, right? But don't be afraid to put like full frontal on a Goof, right? Or Char on a Drasi, right? Just if the numbers work, the numbers work, right? If you need 3 HP to efficiently take out one of their units that's about to do bad things to you, put a pilot on your stuff and do it, right? Don't be afraid to play pilots that aren't link units if the situation demands it. Keep that in mind with every deck that we play in the Gundam card game. But yeah, just in general, again, just to recap, excuse me, just to recap, the theme of this deck is to both use the additional damage from support from the command cards to make efficient trades, and then also keep in mind when you can use a little bit of that direct damage here just to finish off a unit and save yourself an attack in general, right? So you've got some cool ways to control the board, but generally you're going to want to be the aggressor here, right? You're going to want them attacking into you, and then, you're going to turn that little unit that they're ignoring into a big swing to either take out a base or take out one of their bigger units, right? Your cheaper stuff that maybe gets ignored should be able to take out their expensive stuff that they've invested in, right? That's the general principle with that. But I love the Neo Zeon stuff. I love the aesthetic of all of it. I love the playstyle of all of it. This is probably the deck I'm most excited to play in this starter deck event. That and maybe Wings of Advance, I would say. But honestly, I'm having fun with all of them. I've been playing a bit with the first two that I unboxed the other day and having a great time. Looking forward to putting this one to work as well. And I'm going to be on Eggman's channel on Wednesday, by the way. That'll be 7/9, July 9th in the morning. We're going to be doing some starter deck battles over at his house. So definitely check that out as well. But for now, I hope this helped you out. Hope it helped you get a little bit prepared if you're planning on playing Starter 3 in your starter events this weekend. Otherwise, if you're picking up the game, hopefully the tips and tricks were beneficial to you as well. Once again, I'll say subscribe to the channel. I've lost the ability to speak the English language. It's time to move on. Sub to my channel, please. Like the video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and we'll see you next time.